Have you ever paused to consider how life changes when we shift our focus from ourselves to others? Once upon a time, in the heart of a bustling city, lived a man named Ethan. Ethan was a successful broker with a high-rise apartment and a luxury car. Yet, despite his material wealth, he felt a deep emptiness within himself. He was so engrossed in his own world of stocks and investments, he had all but forgotten to look beyond himself. One day, Ethan found himself stuck in a traffic jam. As he sat in his plush car, his gaze fell on a young girl selling flowers by the roadside. She was no older than 10, yet her eyes held a world of maturity. Ethan watched her as she interacted with her customers, her face lighting up each time she made a sale. Despite her circumstances, she was cheerful, kind, and focused on bringing joy to others. Intrigued, Ethan bought a bunch of roses from her. As he handed her the money, he asked her why she was so happy even in such challenging circumstances. The young girl looked at him and said, "Sir, my happiness comes from the smiles I see on the faces of people who buy my flowers. When I focus on bringing joy to others, I find joy within myself." Ethan was profoundly moved by her words. That night, he couldn't sleep. The girl's words echoed in his mind. He realized that in his pursuit of success, he had lost touch with the world around him. The next day, he decided to change his life. Ethan started volunteering at a local shelter. He began interacting more with his colleagues, showing genuine interest in their lives. He even started a scholarship fund for underprivileged children. As he shifted his focus from himself to others, Ethan found a new sense of purpose. He was happier, more content, and felt more connected to the world around him. In our story, the broker, Ethan, represents many of us who get so caught up in our own worlds that we forget to look beyond ourselves. The young flower seller symbolizes the joy and fulfillment that can come from focusing on others. To sum up, when we shift our focus from ourselves to others, we not only enrich their lives, but we also find a greater sense of purpose and happiness in our own. We become more empathetic, understanding, and connected to the world around us. So, perhaps it's time we ask ourselves, are we focusing too much on our own lives? Are we forgetting to consider the lives of others? Remember, a life lived for others is not just good for them, it's good for us too. It brings joy, fulfillment, and a deeper connection with the world. So, let's make a conscious effort to look beyond ourselves, to focus on others, and see how our lives transform for the better. After all, as the wise young flower seller taught us, when we focus on bringing joy to others, we find joy within ourselves.